Pam Gallagher, and I will be your worship assistant today. In addition to having India Taylor providing our music, Mark Jackson is our usher.
Thank you.
And the rest of them are empty for today. Thank you to Maria and Sherry for taking care of distributing the prayers to our prayer group and Silent Unity each week. Thank you all for being part of the service today. Anyone here for the first time? We'd love for you to introduce yourself. If you would like to receive our newsletter and email notices, please sign the sheet in the back of the church, and we'll be happy to include you in our mailings. You will notice our activities are listed in your bulletin. If you have any questions, please ask Reverend Jay, our board member, and they will be happy to tell you more. Today's announcements. You are welcome to take the inserts out of the order of service, but please leave the jackets. We reuse them for a month. Please feel free to pick up complimentary March and April Daily Word from the back table. Lunch today is potluck. Please plan to stay and socialize. Whether you brought anything or not, you are always welcome, and we have plenty of food. We are always collecting dry goods and toiletries to pass on to various groups to help those in need. There is a container by the front door every week for these donations. We have several groups each month. Some are live and some are on Zoom. They are all listed on your insert in your bulletin, which you are welcome to take with you. We always have a book study group before our Sunday service from 9:30 to 10:30, and you can join at any time. The book changes as we finish one and decide on the next. You can come a little early and enjoy coffee, tea, and stimulating conversation. You can visit our website at unityofboerne.org for more information. Please stand and we will sing our celebration song, 120 Happiness is Found Within.
Happiness is found within. Happiness I'm bound to win.
Oh, wow.
I can change my thoughts from gloomy glum to gladness. Happiness is found within.
That's all right.
Happiness is found within. Happiness I'm bound to win. I can change my thoughts from no I can't to can to. Happiness is found within. We search and seek in outer ways to find our happiness. But when we turn to power within, we turn from no to yes. So I can change my mind today. Change my thoughts to good and say, joy is part of me. It is my very nature. Happiness is found with, happiness is found with, happiness is found within. We search and seek in outer ways to find our happiness. But when we turn to power within, we turn from no to yes. So I can change my mind today. Change my thoughts to good and say, joy is part of me. It is my very nature. Happiness is found with, happiness is found with, happiness is found within.
Thank you, and please be seated. Inside your bulletin, you will find a prayer request form for any prayer requests. You can drop them in the offering basket later, and they will be put with other prayer requests. Our own prayer team prays over them for a week, and they are also sent to Silent Unity, where they are prayed over for a month. Now we will have the daily word read by Chris Diaz.
As we quietly and gently prepare for the reading of the daily word, we remember that we are in spirit with millions of daily word readers and churches throughout the world. The Christ candle is lit as a reminder of the Spirit of God within all of us, which we call the Christ within. The word for today is lively. The affirmation is, I am lively, filled with awe and wonder. There is a glorious, unseen flow at the heart of all creation, moving in and through me. As I align with this sacred energy, I feel vibrantly alive. I imagine myself as part of the great living whole. I am one with the trees, whose boughs sway in the wind, with the mountains and the hills echoing with ancient voices, with the waters trickling over stone. Even the quiet earth hums a sacred song. Today, I will listen more closely, breathe more deeply, and move with intention. Life is not separate from me. I am its expression. In harmony with its rhythm, the world begins to sing. I recognize its lively song is singing in me, too. From Isaiah 55:12, the scripture reads, For you shall go out in joy and be led back in peace. The mountains and the hills before you shall burst into song, and all the trees of the field shall clap their hands. Again, the affirmation, and if you have your order of service open, you can read it with me. I am lively, filled with awe and wonder. Thank you for being here today. It's good to see all of you. My name's Chris.
Please stand, and we will sing our joy song. 144, Now Are the Showers of Blessings.
Now are the showers of blessings sent by the Father of love. Now is the time of expressing bountiful gifts from above. Showers of blessings in store. Windows of heaven are open, showers of blessings outpour. Now are the showers of blessings meeting our momently need.
Yeah.
Now are the riches of heaven healing our hearts of all greed. Showers of blessings in store. Windows of heaven are open, showers of blessings outpour. Bountiful measure fulfilling, pouring upon us, O Lord. Now are the showers of blessings, promises made by thy word. Showers of blessings in store. Windows of heaven are open, showers of blessings outpour.
And now our mission statement together. Unity of
Unity of
Boerne
is a vibrant, loving, spiritual community providing a sacred space for personal growth. We honor and celebrate the Christ within all people.
Thank you, and please be seated. I will now turn over to Reverend Jay for the blessing of the prayer request and the remainder of the service.
Thank you, Pam. Thank you all who do this. Worship assistant. Chris, the daily word's always wonderful when you do it. Anybody does it, but I mean, everybody has their own style. Pam's wonderful to see you. Brent, on Celebration Sundays, everybody does a wonderful job here, and I'm so pleased to be a part of you. I missed you last week. I did get to tune in and see David, and I thought that was very interesting what he said. I enjoyed it a lot. I looked at it twice, once to see what he was saying, and second to see how our wonderful video is coming along. Look back there, Ryan and Obi, what they're doing. It is so wonderful. I want to give them a hand. Thank you so much for what you're doing. I so much appreciate it. You might notice that there isn't the words to the hymns this morning. That's not a big deal. What happened well, it is a big deal. I mean to say it's an easy fix. David is on retreat. This is Edgar Casey retreat this week. He usually brings the computer over, plugs it in, and we have it go on the words on the TV. So I didn't quite have enough time to get over there and hook that up before it was my time to be here. So y'all hummed, I guess, or had a hymn book, or just tap, whatever it may be. Right now, I ask you to enter into an attitude of prayer, and there are many things that we want to hold in prayer this morning. Things that have to do with our greater world at large, things that have to do with our inner world. This is the time where we affirm our oneness with the Creator who has residence inside us. So I ask you to take a couple of deep breaths at center and write down, if you want to, the prayer request that's inside your bulletin. It will be prayed over by our dedicated prayer team. I'll pray over it, and it'll be sent to Silent Unity, where it'll be prayed over for 30 days. If you would like to write it down. If not, it's written in your heart, and you allow the presence of the Spirit to have its will in your life right now. Loving and infinite presence, your will is wonderful. It is good. It is everything we could ever want if we only knew it. We trust that even though we may not see it right now, everything is occurring in our lives as it needs to. And you're present as we take our next step. As we anticipate even our next step, you are there. We ask that you touch with your divine grace the hearts of those that don't know you're there in them, and that through you they live, move, and have their being. We affirm that will, that wonderful will, the supreme will of helping one remember who they are is done right now. And those that need help and those that need to release are touched to do so. Those that need strength are encouraged. They that wait upon you shall rise up with wings as eagles, running and not fainting. We affirm that. We affirm goodness. And in our world right now, where things seem to be off kilter, where we would do anything not to have a war, we affirm that out of this, something good will come. We ask that you be with and show yourself as the kindness, the love, the mercy, the gentleness that is needed in the hearts of those that are involved in this conflict. To the innocence that is inside each person, whether they know it or not, that they recognize that and they come home to the true strength. Not guns, not rocks and bullets, but love, the most powerful force. You are, we are. We affirm this truth and declare it is so. Amen.
Today's special music is about how when we are being our truest selves, we are a blessing. And this is Blessing to the World by Karen Drucker. And any of you know it, you're welcome to sing along. You are the heart, you are the hands, you are the voice of spirit on earth. And who you are and all you do is a blessing to the world. We are the heart, we are the hands, we are the voice of spirit on earth. And who we are and all we do is a blessing to the world. I am the heart, I am the hands, I am the voice of spirit on earth. And who I am and all I do is a blessing to the world. You're a blessing to the world. We're a blessing to the world. I'm a blessing to the world. Thank you. In the midst of his children, the Lord said that he would be. It doesn't take very many. It can be just 2 or 3. And I feel that same sweet spirit that I've felt of times before. Surely I can say I've been with the Lord. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. I can feel his mighty power and his grace. I can hear the brush of angels' wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. I can feel his mighty power and his grace. I can hear the brush of angels' wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place.
Now comes the time in our service where we really remember who we are. It's a place inside that each one has access to, whether they're aware of it or not. And I've always considered my job to help someone find that awareness. It's there, beneath the din of competing voices and the things that have happened and hurt. It's the one light shining always inside you. I invite you right now during this time of meditation to center yourself. Take a few deep breaths. It's helpful to be aware that your feet are on the floor, hands are in your lap. You orient yourself to where you are. And having taken those deep breaths and relaxed into your beingness, in the upcoming silence, we're going to release and let go what we need to, and we're going to affirm and receive what we need to. We know that. The Spirit inside knows that. Spirit of the Lord is here. It is upon each one of you and in each one of you. And in the healing silence right now, it does its wonderful, magical work. Do you need some help?
No.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
You bet. And as we gently emerge from this time of recreation and self-remembrance, we know that what is true of God is true of us, and that God only knows love and perfection, and that's what's known about us. And anything unlike that, we release, we let go. We are at peace, and it is so.
I Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah.
Good morning again. Well, it's wonderful always to be with you. You know, one of my fears as a public speaker before I became a minister, and I've done this for a lot of years, was that I would automatically start laughing, or I would see something in the congregation, 2 or 3 people laughing, and that's happening right now. And I don't know what it's about, but you got my joy flowing, and I appreciate that. Laughter is a sure sign, the sure presence of God. Of course, the miracle says this whole thing that we're in started because the Son of God forgot to laugh. So let's not ever downplay the importance of a sense of humor. So today I want to talk to you about finding yourself and being yourself. Some folks have said, well, why don't you just say be yourself? Because, you know, what's the find yourself about? Isn't that a 60s thing? Isn't that something that was big back in the days of transcendental meditation and all those things, those encounter groups that were going on in the 60s and 70s? We had to find ourselves. Well, they did some good. I have nothing against those kind of programs. I led some of them. But the kind of thing that I'm talking about this morning, when you find yourself before you be yourself, the finding yourself is, where are you in relation to where you would like to be? And I don't mean that in the sense of a physical place or a job or a relationship. Now, we'll get to that. But where do you find yourself this morning thinking about you? Or I phrase it this way. What is your opinion about where you are and who you are? Do you find yourself in a circumlocution of one day after another, I'll get through it, life is you know what, and then you die? I don't think anybody thinks like that here, but we do have folks that tune in, and I do get messages and sometimes emails from people that say, I'm tuning in because I'm just holding on, hoping it gets better. Well, where do you find yourself thinking about yourself? Finding yourself in thought is far more than finding where you are, or let's say talking about where you are. You are right where you need to be. It is not an accident that you're here this morning, or that the fine folks that tune in are tuning in this morning. Nothing in a divinely ordered universe happens by accident. So the next question would be, if you find yourself in less than wonderful circumstances, in the places you may not want to be, are you identifying with that? Do you see that as something that comes to stay or something that is coming to pass? Do you realize that you're a work in progress? Do you realize that you can't place a period at any point in your life where the Spirit of God places a comma, a semicolon, a dash? It's always more. In fact, you're eternal. This is just one part. You showing up here today, right now, is just simply a sliver of who you are. I'm talking about, let's step back and get the grand perspective. Got an email from a person, and I just took down a few of the salient points. It said, I find myself repeating the same things that I had in my youth. I'm in a substandard relationship. I live in a substandard part, like the word evidently substandard. I live in a substandard part of the town, and my family is not helpful to where I am. And I wrote back, and one of the things I said was, You're simply believing a thought that never, how did I phrase this? I want to make sure I said it right. You're simply believing a thought that never came from your real mind. See, your real mind, the mind of God, the truth, the thing that is beyond time and space, has different thoughts about you. Can you agree with that? Can you understand that this idea of being substandard, less than, subclass, underclass, whatever you want to call it, that idea did not come from your Creator. It came from those who would like to control you, to make you feel something, to make you do something. This morning, finding yourself where you are, I ask you to release the shackles of anything that hurts. That sounds so simple, doesn't it? Even ministers could do that so easy, right? Well, just let it go. But the truth is, in order to grow, you are going to have to let it go. You can do it all at once. You can do it in stages. You can do it over years. It's all up to you. There's a great word called satori. It means instant awakening. Some can do that. I happen to think that Khalil Gibran, the prophet, wrote a beautiful book. I happen to think that he had an instant awakening. I think Yogananda came across the autobiography of a yogi that he wrote, some of you familiar with. I think there came a time where, after a great deal of study, it happened. For a lot of us, it kind of goes in stages, and we call it everyday life and growth. Whatever it is, find yourself and affirm yourself right now where you are. You can find a laundry list of things that you don't want to be, see, do, and you're going through them. We all can. But we're right in the perfect place we need to be for our next step, for our growth. Why? Because you wouldn't be there if you weren't. Life presents us with what we need. It also cooperates with what we think and affirm. There is an energy on this planet that resonates with what you think. There are also people and groups that resonate with what you think. In other words, who are you hanging out with? Not necessarily physically, but in your mind. Who lives rent-free in your mind? There are some people I want to have rent-free in my mind. My mom, my dad, my friends, I want them there. They don't have to pay any rent. I love it. I love the memories and I love them. But there are some people that collect these hurts and grievances and they live rent-free in their minds. It is, how dare they do that? Why did that? How could? I deserve all those things, all those words that you want to make reality different than what it was. But try to see the whole thing as counterfeit, because right now, and this is a big truth, not from me, and I'm ready to drop it, and I love it. You are as God created you. You're not your story. You're not your job. You're not your relationship. You're not your mistakes. You're not even what you call your victories. You are as God created you. And I'll add something to that. And you will think about yourself as much as you accept that sentence. You are as God created you. That's what I wanted this nice lady to know in the email. And I did go on. I can't read it all due to confidentiality, but I wanted her to know this. You're not broken. You're confused about who you are. I'll tell you where I came by this. Back before I did this for a living, way before I was a minister and doing public speaking, because, as you know, wonderful man kicked me on the stage to do it. I was using our principles, New Thought principles, for better positions, for places in my job that could be better. I was affirming, I was doing all those things that you do to get from one place to another. And I would get there, and then I'd be, okay, I got there, but what's next? And what's next? Every person that I worked with or for was always wanting something more, including me. I suffered from the disease of more. I wanted more success. If I made this quota, I wanted to be better the next month and the next. It was always, it reminded me of being, you ever seen a hamster in a cage? The wheel runs round and round, going fast, no place. Now, it was Jack that mentioned to me something that was a life changer, and I didn't even accept it at the time. Jack being the minister who saw in me what he thought had the makings of a minister. He said, Jay, you like Nightingale Conant. Nightingale Conant is an audio and video business that was started by Lloyd Conant and Earl Nightingale, the great speaker of the 50s. It is a company that produces self-development audio and video. Wayne Dyer was in Nightingale Conant. Deepak Chopra. You can look that up on. They're still in business today. You could buy any of these programs that helped you be a better you in your business, in your marriage, in whatever it may be. But Jack had mentioned something called A Course in Miracles. And when I went to Nightingale Conant, I usually did, seeing what was there so I could better myself for the next part of my job. I saw that they offered A Course in Miracles, this business development company. And then, interestingly enough, the co-founder's son, Vic Conant, said, I have listened to the last self-development series I ever need to hear. It's all right in the Course in Miracles. I thought, wow. So I bought it. And you know what? It took me about 10 years to get it. How much ego was over me? I have to do this. I had a bad relationship. I'm holding what the teacher said about me. I'm remembering that. It's fuel to make me go, go, go. I'm using those things where people didn't believe in what I said or had or did. That was fuel to make me go until when I put that tape, and they were tapes at that time, not CDs, and certainly not these, what do you call it, the things you plug in, thumb drives. They were tapes. And when I heard that to find myself, I remember I am as God created me, that God doesn't have any interest in the fact that I be a better salesman next month or that I drive a better car. The interest is, am I at peace? Wow. Well, all those speakers up till then that I had loved, I don't mean to downgrade them. But when I started with that course, it took a trajectory. And it took all the way up until 2018, when I can tell you, wow. It was like a velvet dart was shot through my heart. It was at a line, I was in a line at a Bill Miller's restaurant in the car. And all of a sudden, I said some words, and I've always be honest with you, and I'm going to say it right now. I said it almost as a whisper. I said, well, I'll be damned. That's what it's about. Not my performance, not my money. Thank heavens, not my looks. It's about peace. The peace of God that passes all understanding and misunderstanding. The Course went on to ask me the question, what could I want that peace would not give? Well, I still wanted some nice things. Of course, there's nothing wrong with that. You can do, this isn't guilt over wanting stuff in the world. It's a statement of memory of who you really are in a world that wants to tell you who you are because they want something from you. We all want something from each other. Just part of life. You know what God really wants from you according to this beautiful course? Your happiness, your peace, and to remember that you're loved. You realize that if you come from that point of view first, finding yourself, no matter where you may be, knowing that the belief that you are broken is a lie, and accepting the love, the universal embrace, then you're even better equipped to take steps in the physical world. Have you ever seen somebody that runs and runs because they're not enough? Or they don't think they're enough? If I made the $75,000 club in my sales job, I had to make 100 the next time, and 125. And I had sales managers behind me that were pushing that and say, yeah, Jay, that's right. Go, go, go. Well, I told Jack, I said, this Course in Miracles. He said, just listen and just be willing. That's all it takes. A little willingness. And listen to these words. Nothing real can be threatened. Nothing unreal exists. Herein lies the peace of God. That's some of the most powerful words I ever heard. Everything passes away. Let not your heart be troubled, neither let it be afraid. Everything passes away except God. Now that's from the Christian Bible. It's also in the Course. Yeah, it does. I've seen people come and go. Jobs have come and gone. That moment, years after Jack told me about it, that moment, even after I was certified as a teacher to do these things, years after, it was at a line in Bill Miller's where I said those they weren't really theological words to say I'll be damned, but it was a whisper like, God, I get it. There's nothing I have to do to be bigger for you, to impress you, to run from my pain and hurt. I found myself wanting peace. Now the next part of it was, be yourself, be myself. So what does that mean? You find yourself, I am as God created me. I know that love holds no grievances. All these wonderful sentences that they can irritate the ego, but when you let them through, boy, you step a little taller and you feel like who you really are in truth. Well, what was to be myself meant I hold no grievances against anyone. And anytime I feel tempted to, I let the Holy Spirit reinterpret that idea. That's being myself. Anytime that I want to yell and say it's not fair and I'm angry, I let the Holy Spirit reinterpret that. Please don't think I'm some kind of saint about this. There was still I-10 out there giving me lessons all the time. You know, it's strange. I don't curse things. But the freeway, it came close. And I realized what it was. I had a mission to get to. I love what I do. I am called to what I do. I know that. I'd bet my life on it. And I don't want to be stopped to get there. I'm excited consistently about this message of telling people that they're more than they think they are. They're more than their past. They're more than anything that's ever been said negatively, any hurt they've ever experienced. They are God in form. Wow. Each one of you this morning, think about the things right now, even if they're small. Some may be large, but even if they're small, medium, whatever. Think about what you're holding against yourself or somebody else. And then ask yourself, if you find yourself doing that, do you want to be doing that? You see, the strange thing is, finding yourself and being yourself are almost the same thing. You come to the realization that there's only one thing to do with this world. Forgive it. Wait a minute. Not be the sales manager? Not go build a great big building with my name on it? Not, what? Forgive it and be at peace. Well, if you do that, then if you want to go on and build that building or do something like that, you're doing it from a place of abundance instead of a place of lack. This morning, I want to remind you of your abundance of who you are. This world, as the Course rightly points out, can be so, so hard. It says in lesson 129, think this is the world, I'm paraphrasing, think this is the world that God wants. You find yourself taking every step in fear and insecurity. And we do. I've got to think about how I walk down here. I've got to think about how I lock my doors. All that's just part of being here. But we do have fear as kind of a constant companion. And some things it pays to have a healthy fear of. I don't want to walk out on that trail and find a mountain lion. I don't want to go to the window late at night and see somebody pointing a gun at me. You know, those we take reasonable precautions. But I don't want to be living in fear of who and what I am, or what somebody else mistakenly thinks about themselves. Because this Course also says something. Everyone is innocent, they don't always know it. Wait a minute, does that mean the person that hurt and did that, what? Well, that's true, because if there wasn't that innocence and that wonderful place inside, there'd be no hope for healing. It would have to hopefully try to come from someplace and fill up a vacuum that was never there. You're a holy, wonderful person regardless of what you do. You may make some terrible choices. We've seen people make horrible choices, but you can be still an instant and go home. That's from the Course too. Does it sound like I'm preaching a Course in Miracles lesson? Well, maybe I am. It is a universal curriculum. You don't have to. If you found a path that you love, and we certainly have them here, that's fine. But think about, what I'd like you to think about this morning is from I don't want to say it. Let's call it the 80s. Till 2018. And all that in between, even getting my teaching credentials for the Course and being able to give lip service to it, in 2018 at 7:51 p.m., it hit me off a CD from John Mundy talking about this. He wrote a book called Living A Course in Miracles, and all of a sudden, and my father had just died, and there were a lot of things on my mind, and I did say those three words, I'll be damned, because it all came home. It gelled, it congealed. Then I realized something. It really got to me. Seek ye first the kingdom of heaven, and all these other things will be added to you. So see, I could get off the hamster wheel. I didn't have to prove who I was. I never had to prove who I was to my own father or mother. I did to other people. That was part of it. I don't have to prove anything. I just have to be the love and the peace that I am. And when I'm right-minded, as the Course calls it, in my right mind, then I can make decisions even in a better way about my future. You ever seen somebody scared making decisions? It's not pleasant. If somebody's in a panic and afraid you want them mashing buttons that affect you or turning dials and screws, I don't. I would rather have somebody at peace with who they are, knowing who they are, remembering who they are, and walking forward in that kind of life. And saying, no matter what comes before me or after me or beside me, I know who I am. I found myself, and I am myself. There are no justified grievances. That's from the Course too. And that means against yourself too. Don't hold anything against somebody else. And don't hold it against yourself. Remember, in order to judge, you have to first go negative inside, and that hurts. I had to first go negative about that highway out there. And I didn't want to arrive here in the place I love being frazzled about the freeway. And I can tell you something, I finally got over it. Well, they also finished it, but that's the truth. I really did. I came to myself about it. There are no such things. There are no small illusions. I ask you this morning, I invite you this morning to remember yourself. You ever remember your parents? I don't know if you had one say that or adults say, remember yourself. It was usually said to upbraid you. I say it this morning in all the love and all the goodwill I can muster. Remember yourself. Remember who you are. And when you do that, when you really do that, you can't go out and do anything to anybody that is hurtful or negative or mean. Remember, you, your brother and sisters really don't have any separate interests. Most people are doing about the best they can given the knowledge and awareness they have. And I'll tell you something else about this attraction as I wrap this up, this idea of attraction. I was first an associate pastor of a large church. My wife wasn't happy. I was all right with it. But I knew that it'd be nice to move on. And then I had a medium-sized one. That was a little better. Each time it got better and better. And I thought, you know, I really would like to find a group of the most loving, wonderful people looking in the same direction, looking forward and in love. I held that intention in my mind, and that was in 2015. I held it daily. I said, this was my affirmation, I am attracted to loving, wonderful people who are appreciative of truth. And do you know, it wasn't very long after that I found this wonderful place. I attracted you wonderful people. And I hope you think that what you attracted was sort of okay here. It would help. I love you all. And I don't say that sloppy sentimentalism. I mean it. I don't perceive separate interests from each of you. Our interest is peace. Our shared interest is peace and happiness and love. And on that, in a time of division, on that we can all agree. God bless each and every one of you. Thank you for being here. I love you. And now it's time that we give a part of what we've received. And knowing that when you do, and you give to this church, that your gift is being used wisely. We have a Monday evening book study. We have Wednesday night Course in Miracles. We have Thursday night Pathlighters. There's so much to do here. And you're helping get this message out. Look at the great new video we have. All these things that are happening, they all take funds. And I know that you will give. I know that you have that in your heart. And those of you who are watching online, I ask you to give, press that PayPal button, give the best gift you can. Or you can send your gifts to Unity of Boerne, P.O. Box 1973, Boerne, Texas 78006. Unity of Boerne, P.O. Box 1973, Boerne, Texas 78006. As Mark comes forward to take the offering, I invite you to give the best gift of which you're able. Thank you.
Freely, freely I have received. Freely, freely I give. To find love through me blesses all that I am, all that I give and receive. Freely, freely I have received. Freely, freely I give. To find love through all that I am, all that I give and receive.
Thank you, Mark. Together with all the love that is in us, we bless these offerings right now by saying, divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And I send it forth with my blessings and my love. Thank you. And next week, we will have our monitor back. It was because David was on retreat. And so everything's cooking. We've got wonderful video, and then we're gonna have this done. We have good audio. We're doing well. Thank you, and then stay and enjoy potluck. And those of you who are tuning in, you got to come here to eat it, to believe it. It's wonderful. Thank you. God bless you.
Love can build a bridge between your heart and mine. Love can build a bridge. Don't you think it's time? Don't you think it's time? Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous far. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence